So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and winch it on the trailer. I think the engine's locked up. I think it's seized. We'll see. Gotta get it home first. Alright, y'all. So I haven't really been filming much on Frank because I've been working on the Jeep truck. Check those videos out if you haven't yet. But I did get the winch installed and I did get it registered. So we can cross those things off the list. So yesterday I got the Jeep truck running and it was a beautiful day out, and I thought, what better time to take Frank out? And I figured, you know, it's Sunday, I gotta go to the grocery store, I'll take Frank to the grocery store. I didn't make it more than one block until the engine basically lost a bunch of power, started spitting and sputtering, started making some pretty bad noises. I pulled into a Walgreens parking lot, popped the hood. It sounded like it was coming from like passenger side down below. I wasn't a mile from my house. I figured just limp it back. Didn't even make it back home. It died as I was pulling onto my street. So the first time I used the winch on Frank, I used it to get it on the trailer because it was broke. So I don't know if Frank's mad because I botched the video of this engine starting for the first time. I don't know if it's just the circle of life. One engine survives, one engine gets revived in the Jeep truck, and one engine dies in Frank the Wagoneer. But it's locked up at this point. It started one more time, and then it died immediately. So I'll crank it and let you guys hear, and then I think we'll drain oil and pull an oil pan and pull some valve covers. I don't know, and we'll just go from there. But it's a sad day, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Alright, here we go. That is, to me, the starter coming out, engaging with the flywheel, trying to turn it, and it's not turning. It's just locked up. I didn't build this engine. I bought it from a guy who had it built, who was going to put it in a CJ, and then he just never did. So I did put the intake in, I dropped the distributor, I put the front half of it on. So we'll see where the problem ends up being. Did I screw up? Was the bottom end just bad to begin with? And then what do we do next? I have the engine that was originally in Frank. It ran, but why would I put an old engine in a brand new vehicle, a brand new build? So, but we might have to do that temporarily until I figure out what to do with this. Do I just LS swap? I don't know. Too many things to decide at this point. First, let's just see if we can figure out what went wrong with this engine, and then we'll go from there. Alright, let's see what's in here. The good thing about Frank is he's so tall, it's easy to get under him and work on. Huh. That actually looks pretty good. I don't even see any metal in there. Well, we'll have to analyze it once it's done draining. Well, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but this doesn't look bad to me. I mean, there might be a little shimmer of metal in there, but Engine's got, I don't know, maybe an hour on it, 20 minutes to break in the cam, and then other than that, I've just been, in and out of the shop. It's been up and down the street a couple times, so a little metal is not out of the ordinary, I don't think, that tiny amount. So I'm not seeing anything catastrophic yet. We're gonna have to keep diving in. I just need to get Frank unloaded, and we'll deal with this later, I guess. But before I do, let's go around Frank and I'll show you all the other places I messed up on Frank that need to be addressed. These leaf springs are not handling the load. They have since arched, so these need to be replaced. I mean, they're already bending, and I've barely even driven this thing. Just look at the S in this leaf spring. Whoop. Note to everybody, don't calculate ride height before actually putting a body on. Don't buy shocks until everything is on. Look at this. When it's all said and done, now they got the winch and the bumper on here, there's no travel here. So the plan is to extend this up into the fender well, but there's another place that I screwed up. Just noticed this wile was under here. That weld came loose, so chalk another one up on the Corey Screws Up board. Well, I just added leaf springs to the Frank to-do list, but I think we know what number one is now. All right, we're in the shop. My dad's here. Say hi, Dad. Hey. He helped me pull in the Wagoneer. We're gonna pop the hood. I'm gonna pull the covers off, pull the valve covers off, see if we see anything, and then go from there. The sound sounded like it was coming from this passenger side, the back passenger side. So we pulled this valve cover off, and we've got a broken valve spring. Looks like this back cylinder, we dropped the valve in this back. So I'm gonna pull the rocker arm keeper off, and then these rockers, and I'll show you guys this broken valve and broken spring here. You could see here that valve dropped and it's stuck in this head, so it's probably mashed up in that cylinder. And this push rod here is no longer straight. So I'll have to pull the intake and these heads and see how bad the damage is in the cylinder. But at least we know what the problem is and where to go to try to fix it. Just start tearing this thing apart. I'll set up a time lapse. Okay, hour and a half. We got the intake and this passenger head off. Are you ready for some carnage? Cylinders are full of water. This back cylinder full of metal. Here's what's left of the valve. This cylinder is, or this piston is trashed. So, I think this engine might be dead, officially. Here's the back side of that head. This valve is stuck in here. This valve had a hole blown in it. So, we're gonna clean the cylinders out and formulate a plan, and we'll give you an update. All right, we cleaned the coolant out. This piston and cylinder look okay. Same with this one and this one, but this one, not so much. That is destroyed. Pretty much gone. Hey guys, it's the next day. I'm in the shop, just looking over damage, and I'm just making some observations here, things I thought I might share with you guys. One, look at this carnage. I ended up pulling this one valve out. Just crazy stuff. I said before that I didn't build this engine, and I got it from a guy who was going to put it in a CJ. But what I didn't mention is that it had sat for, I think the guy said 8 years. So when I got it from him, I took it had heads and an intake on it, and I took the intake off, I took off the heads. I wanted to inspect the block and the pistons. Basically, I just wanted to clean it. I was worried that it was dirty, and there was a bunch of stuff in there. So I cleaned it, and then I put it back together. So we can all agree at this point the head gasket failed, and that was probably my fault. I must have not done something correctly when installing that head gasket. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. But when I did take the heads off and I put them back on that engine, I did notice the spring retainers were different than what I had normally seen on other AMC engines, other AMC 360s I had been into. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you see here on this, the spring retainer here and the spring retainer here is different. So the exhaust spring retainer and the intake ones are different. I had never seen that before in a 360. The other thing I noticed, if you can see in here, the valve stem umbrella on the exhaust is different than the one on the intake. Again, I had never seen that before. So my assumption was these guys built the engine. The guy told me it was a builder in Arizona, like they had a shop. But again, well, I had no reason to not think that the guys that built this engine knew what they were doing, right? So I said, I've never seen that before, but my guess is this is matched to the cam. They know what they're doing. Now, we did also drop a valve. Is that related to this? I have no idea. Did the head gasket going cause the valve to drop? Were either of these things related? I don't know. I'm just showing you guys things that I noticed and might be noteworthy. Back over here in front of Frank. I mean, poor Frank. First the guy just gets tossed aside for a younger model for this sweet ride. Then I go to give him some love, and he just like blows some engine parts apart. So poor Frank. I mean, we're gonna pull this engine and probably just put the one that was the original 73 engine that was in Frank. So I think that's the plan. We'll go out and we'll take a look at that engine. All right, here's the engine that was in Frank. It's been out here. It's been covered. It's been probably out here for a year. It's still spinning. It was yesterday when I tested. Yeah, it's still good. Um, it's still got all the accessories and everything on it. So it's dirty. It actually ran fine, but this is a stock engine. The one I just blew has a cam and some other goodies in it. So it's bored over. It had been rebuilt. It was fresh. So, but hey, the new stuff doesn't always work. So we're gonna throw the old stuff back in. I will pressure wash this thing. We're gonna pull the intake. We'll put the intake from Frank on it. We'll put the new distributor in it, and I think I'm just gonna leave all the accessories on it. We'll just run them and take the exhaust manifolds off because we got headers in the truck already. So I don't know when this is gonna happen because, like I said earlier, Frank's been replaced by my new baby, the Jeep truck. So I kind of want to get that thing to a point where it's at least a little runner and driver before I get back to Frank. So the next video you see on Frank will probably be me pulling the engine in there and putting this one in. So till then, thanks for watching.